Of the jury. We're sitting out back. It's sunny. Great day to be alive. Got some yard work done. We got a lot of people coming in. I'll let you come in. When you come into the chat, let me know you're watching from. Let me know how the audio is. No more BS. Let me know how that audio is. I just got done mowing the yard. I probably smell like Satan's taint. Give it a thumbs up. Share this. This is just completely off the cuff. Cigar, lemonade, dogs scattered under the hickory tree in my rocking chair. And you can see my big boy mower back there behind me. John Edwards, hi. Thank you. Let me know the audio. You probably hear some birds in the background. I'm in the backyard. And Fred is trying to knock over the damn tripod. Fred, he just got we got this horse lick or horse block. And after we finish using it, I've turned it into a water trough. And sadly, Fred will take a drink, but he has to get in it before he can take a drink. He literally climbs in, then he walks over into a sunny spot and rolls. I don't know how long we'll be doing this. It's heating up. Ben, nice hat. Thank you very much. Stetson, Fred, if you don't quit kicking, if the tripod is moving, blame Fred, okay? Deborah, thank you for that. I don't think I look fabulous. I've got basically a face for radio is what I'm starting to figure out. We got a lot of people chiming in. Chime in with your location. Chime in gas prices where you're at. And let me know your thoughts about things. I used to do a lot of these backyard chats. And I need to get back to doing it, right? Because I think it's unscripted. I'm out of my, I say studio, it's a damn spare room. Southern Vermont, how's the weather up there? You get away from the camera and you get back to what was real. And I think part of what my channel was built on was just being real. And you get behind a camera on YouTube, and you've got your software and all that, and you forget what just got you here. They just killed 3 soldiers in Jordan. I say we rain down Sodom and Gomorrah, if that's true. I haven't seen it. Branson, I got family in, well, my ex-mother-in-law lives in Branson. I don't know if you call that family, but I've got some friends in Branson, up on Table Rock Lake. That's where I used to keep my boat. But if you like these backyard chats, let me know. We'll get a few more of them done. 2 U.S. service members killed in Iranian attack in Jordan. But that's the mostly peaceful religion, right? That's what we were told. We were told Iran wants peace. Somebody said message held for review. Sodom and Gomorrah show. Dennis, thank you. I don't know how many of you want to see... Well, I want to talk about something else, and we'll get to that part. We'll get to my next statement that I have held right there. Okay, the other night, I think it was 2 nights ago, we had the president come on and give the speech and gave us some information about things we may have already known, but we really haven't. It was all conjecture. We all kind of thought what was happening. But now, it seems like once the president said these things out loud, it became a little more real. And he did it at the Oval Office. And I tell you what made it more real for me was by the amount of news media that chose not to cover it, okay? The news media chose not to cover it. Somebody says, smoking's bad for you. You probably drink out of plastic cups. So those are bad for you too. Right? I love a good cigar. Right? That's just me. I like a good cigar. And I'm about done. But it became more real for me when news media chose not to cover it. That's what it clicked. This is real. Because the news media that chose not to cover it, if it was fake, they would have loved nothing more than to cover it and then fact check him in real time. They didn't do that. They didn't do that, okay? Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Join the channel as a member. It really helps, right? News media covered the Butler rally. I think it was the only one CNN had ever covered. That is another conspiracy. CBS, ABC, PMS Now, whatever you want to call it, right? That's where it really clicked that it was real for me. Now, I believe the Democrats may have gotten what they wanted without lifting a... I'm sure there were some deals. But I believe China accomplished what the Democrats couldn't. And there's other bad actors that are doing what the Democrats couldn't accomplish. Think about this. Let's start with Candace Owens. Candace Owens has literally split a vast majority of America. Think about it. She has literally divided parts of America. Think about this. Our own Senate has divided America. Our own Congress has divided America. I'm sure there's local elected officials where you live that have divided America. The Democrats could never accomplish the damage that Candace Owens has done. Never. The news media has accomplished what the Democrats could not do. Right now, I don't even know who the leader of the Democrat Party is. I don't know if you know. If you know who the leader of the Democrat Party is, chime in. China deliver what the Dems wanted. Debbie, you're a genius. I firmly agree with that. Think about it. Think of all the people that supported what Turning Point USA was about, what Charlie Kirk wanted. Fatigue on Ro Khanna. I believe Ro Khanna is the Democrats', I don't mean anything by his skin color, but I think he's their dark horse. Think about it. He's made the rounds. I think he's been on the Sean Ryan show twice. He's been on all these podcasts. Every Sunday morning, he's on some Meet the Depressed talk show. Mamdani. Did anyone ever think that New York City would elect a person from his persuasion, religion, in the very city that we all know what happened? I never thought that. I would have expected after what happened in September of 2001 that New York would be there. You saw Fred walking the line back there, and that's that's Dixie, Daisy's mama. I would have thought after what happened in New York City that would be the stronghold for the Republican, for conservatives, for patriots. The 9/11 memorial should be one of the most patriotic, sacred pieces of property on American soil. And it's not. It is beautiful here. I don't know how I have enjoyed this level of life, but it is. I really appreciate what God has provided for me. Good wife, daughter, family, home, job, career. I'm really grateful for what America has provided for me, because I put all of that at the foot of the American people. Pouting and not voting is un-American. I believe the ultimate goal by Candace Owens, by some of these people, by Midas Touch, by Pac-Man, by, hell, I would even say Sean Ryan at this point, is to divide people so that you get so frustrated by them constantly pointing out what has not happened yet that you say, screw it, I'm throwing my hat in, or throwing my hat away, I'm not going to vote. That is what I believe. I believe Tucker Carlson, same thing. I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene, same thing. Hell, I believe Alex Jones, same thing. I believe a lot of people are working together, whether or not they will admit it, whether or not they will ever be caught. But I think a lot of people are working together to divide us. That's what I believe. And I don't believe the Democrat Party could accomplish the division that China and these influencers have done. I don't believe that. There's no chance that you will convince me that the Democrat Party could do the damage that people that used to be part of us could do. Oh, Howard Gardens, thank you so much. $2 super chat, breaking the seal. I'll give you a boom shakalaka. If you want to support the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want to chime in with a super chat, I'll read those out. I really appreciate it. If you're a veteran, if you're a first responder, if you're a, something along those lines, first responder, veteran, if you got family members that are veterans, you want to give them a shout out, please do. I would really appreciate it. Me and neighbors voting Tuesday, it's all red. Patricia, don't know where you're at, don't know where you're voting at on Tuesday, but good. Go vote. If you decide not to vote because you're frustrated, then I believe they've won. And I'm not quitting. I just won't. I cannot. Somebody says my daughter was in Desert Storm. Salute to your daughter. Damn patriot. Damn hero. All for profit conspiracy theorist. That's a powerful statement. That's a 5-word description of all of them. There's a group, and I would love to know which ones. I'm sure I'm missing some. Nice ink. Guitar Man. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a big old Navy submarine with a squid pulling it down. I've had that for a long time. I don't even remember. I can't remember when I got it. But I believe that is where I don't think conservatives, I don't think Republicans, I don't think conservative YouTubers, influencers are as good at dividing the Democrats as they are at dividing us. Dennis, thanks for keeping us informed. Dennis, I don't know if I'm informing you or I'm just sharing my frustrations. I don't know if I'm informing you of anything you're probably not already aware of. Maybe you could say I'm informing you. Maybe I'm reinforcing what you're believing. Maybe by saying it out loud, that is being effective. I don't know. I don't know how you describe it, right? You do, and you bumped Govea today. I don't know who Govea. Oh, Govea. How did I bump Govea? I don't know who that. Is that the lawyer guy? I like him, right? I really do. I'll say this. Today's Saturday. Thursday, I went through and unsubscribed from like 27 channels that I followed. And I'll tell you why. I catch myself watching other channels, right? I do, you do, blah, blah, blah. Gouveia kicks ass. He's the lawyer, goes through all the documents. I know you're talking about. I catch myself watching other channels. And I want to maintain some level of my own opinion on these things. I don't want to parrot their ideas. I don't want to parrot their talking points. Modern Walter Cronkite. My grandmother, when Walter Cronkite came on and my grandfather, you were not allowed to talk in the living room. You better go outside. You better go outside if you're talking when Walter Cronkite was on. It was a little like that when Dan Rather took over, but my grandmother didn't care for Dan Rather. She said she didn't trust him. She's a genius. Tom Brokaw, great voice, didn't trust him. Whose ace is a crybaby? I don't know who that is. I don't know who Ace is. Is he the fire guy? Like the firefighter guy? I think I've seen his channel. And I'll tell you this. Jawbone, Roll Tide. I used to drop into a bunch of other channels when they do live streams. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me drop in, say hello to other channels. If you've seen me drop into some other channels, let me know, right? I used to drop into a lot of channels. I would say hello. I would drop super chats for them. And I realized none of them would reciprocate that. None of them would reciprocate that on my channel. And that's whenever I realized they don't appreciate me as much as I appreciated them. And I had a channel, a big channel, over on Rumble that wanted to come on my channel for a live interview. And it wasn't because they wanted to come on and talk about what's going on. What they wanted, and I have the text messages to prove it, they wanted to come on my channel so that I could send my audience to them. I will not say the name, but it's a big channel on Rumble. And they wanted me to basically introduce you to them and vouch for them. And I said to the guy, I mean, he hounded me for about 2 months. I finally just said, what do I get out of this? Quid pro quo. What am I getting out of this? He couldn't answer that question. And I realized that, like, it's crazy that that's the way this operates. And I've seen a lot of you in other channels, other chats. And I always say hello, and people are like, hey, Ben, blah, blah, blah. None of these other channels would even acknowledge me as a freaking human. And that's when I realized that maybe they're not. Sounds like he just wants to use you and your audience and click. Exactly. I can't pin the comment because I'm on my iPhone, right? But I realized they wanted to use me to gain access to you. So that's whenever I went on all the other channels that I was subscribed to and I unsubscribed. I said, I'm not going to be your agent, right? Barry is a great channel. I'll say this, I'm subscribed to Barry's channel. Barry and I bounce ideas off each other all the time. Barry's one of the few that I trust in the space. And for all of you that know, on my morning live streams and live streams when I'm in my office or spare bed, it's a spare bedroom, I take phone calls because I respect all of your opinions. I might not agree with them, but I respect them. Lumberjack, love Neil, great guy. Him and I share a sponsor, Mike Lindell, right? Neil's a blue-collar dude. Barry, blue-collar dude. You're on your way to being a great poker player. I have played a little bit of poker. I've played a little. I won a tournament out in Siloam Springs. I won't say how much, but the guy had 4 of a kind. He had 4 9s, and I had 4 jacks. And he was very upset. Okay? He was very upset, to say the least. He won the bad beat. I won the tournament. So there you go, right? I could talk poker for a while. How about the hat? I got this. It's a Stetson Gus is what this is. It's a straw Gus. For those of you that don't know, I'm taking off in a few days. I'm going to Montana. I'm going to be on my route to Montana. I'm hoping to meet up with a bunch of y'all. And I feel like what my trip to Montana is very similar to what's happening in America. My real goal is to go see Beartooth Pass. I want to ride it both ways. I'm going to have lunch at the top. If any of you ride a motorcycle or just want to meet me there, join the channel as a member, and I'll give you my route, okay? What I see America is the ultimate goal. America's Beartooth Pass right now is the SAVE Act, okay? Take your bear spray. My bear spray is in a magazine, or my bear spray's Second Amendment. Let's just say that, right? I don't know who SB banned me for saying Vance was under. I don't know who SV is. Somebody chime in who SV is. Who is SV? Eric, thank you. But I'll say this. America's Beartooth Pass is the SAVE Act. Now, between here and the SAVE Act, we've got some other bumps in the road. We got some other places we want to stop, right? I want to stop at multiple locations between here and Montana. I think some of these other locations I want to stop at are just similar in a way to what we're seeing in America with Iran, the conflict, or the war, whatever you want to call it. I believe Iran is one of those. I believe election integrity. I believe indictments. I believe a lot of those things are just like my trip to Montana. There's things I want to see done. There's places I want to stop. Join the channel as a member. It's 10 cents a day. It's $3 a month to be in the membership. You'll get access to all of that, okay? And I believe it's easy to get frustrated right now, and I believe that's what China wants. I believe that's what the Democrat Party wants. I believe that's what some of these divisive people want. SV Barry Mod. I don't know who it is. I have no idea. But I believe we have to keep our eye on the prize. I'm headed to Montana. There's a lot of places I'm going to stop. Take a picture, get a t-shirt, have a burger, steak, beer, whatever you want to call it. But that's my ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal, I hope, is the SAVE Act. That's my ultimate goal, right? That's kind of where I stand. If you've got questions, throw your question, comment in the chat, put a super chat on it, it'll pop up. On my phone, it's weird. Those are the ones that really come up. Democratic Chinese Party. With the combination of the Chinese Party and some of these influencers that are dividing us, that's what's happening. Prize, what can we win? Well, we're winning because they have no real leader. If you could tell me who the real leader is that the Democrat Party has, I would love to know, because I can't tell you who their real leader is. Somebody says, how long will you be gone? Get in the Discord, I'll tell you. Ben, you be careful out there while you're traveling. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you bring everything you need. Absolutely, I will. But that's kind of where I'm at, right? I got a glass of lemonade. I got some biltong. I will be traveling with my biltong. Biltong USA, go check him out. Anton Real patriot. Anton is a real freaking patriot, guys. And we have to support some of these real patriots. Man, I got some sun out here mowing, didn't I? I'm as red as a pickled egg, I think. But I think we need to do some more of these backyard chats. It's a little easier to not get caught up in play this clip, say 8 words. Play this clip, play 10 words. Play this clip, say 17 words. I'm not saying that people are bad by doing that. I do it sometimes myself to like explain things in context. But by the time I do my live stream first thing in the morning, by the end of the afternoon, you probably have all seen the same 12 sound bites 35 times. And I have caught a couple of channels. Some of you have pointed, I didn't catch them, you did. Some of you have pointed out certain channels, sent me clips, links, timestamps of some of these people saying exactly what I say. I do it at 6:30 in the morning, they do it whenever, because some of them don't work. So it's frustrating. It really is. But you know what? I see Corey said Mamdani is the closest thing they have. Do you all think Mamdani is the leader of the Democrat Party right now? Is that real? I don't think you're far from the truth there. I used to think it was Bernie Sanders. I thought Bernie was the leader. But maybe he's passing the proverbial hammer and sickle on to Mamdani. AOC going to Memphis with her Southern twang, right? Southern twang. I'm sure she had on her blue suede shoes and probably went to Rendezvous for some baby back ribs, right? James Talrico. Look at that clown. Beto O'Rourke. What's the lady that's the governor of Arizona? We're in a weird timeline. We're in a very weird timeline right now. And what's your Harley? You know, I had my very first bike was an Ironhead Sportster way back in the 90s. I rode that from London. No, I had an Evo Sportster, 5-speed. I rode that from London to Russia. I've had everything you could imagine. Dyna, Softail Heritage, Springer, Dyna Lowrider, Road King, Road Glide, Street Glide. I had a Tri-Glide Ultra. I had an accident. Hell, that's going back 3 years ago. I got rear-ended. My left leg went into the back of a Toyota 4Runner, I believe it was. Toyota, whatever, Sequoia. I got rear-ended. Hurt my leg, tore the ligaments in both, tore the ACL, MCL, in my left knee. Since then, I've been riding a trike. And the reason I do it is because on a decline, on a 2-wheeled bike, on a Harley, decline, you have to put a foot down. And whenever I would put my foot down, you typically put your left leg down because your right leg is on a brake, or your right foot's on the brake. And with the weight of a Harley, at the time I had a Road Glide, it's a 1,000-pound bike. Whenever I'd have my wife on the back, I didn't have the stability in my knee. I probably will never have that. So I had to go to a trike. I was like, man, I feel like the old guy riding a trike. I'm 51 right now. I'm 51. I ride a trike. I love it. It keeps my knees in the breeze. And I love it. At the time, I was apprehensive. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm riding a trike. I started out on a hot cycle whenever I was a kid, right? Hot cycle. Let me know when you want to take a rip on a super bike. I used to have a Ducati 996. I've been to Brands Hatch. I've been to the Isle of Man. I've had some super bikes. I had a CBR 1000 way back then. I've ridden some of those things. And now I just like to cruise and listen to some tunes, and you know, that's just me, right? That's just what I like to do. And but I'm going on my own. I'm taking a solo trip, right? Solo trip. I think it's a good way to clear my head. I'll be doing some of these streams along the way if I can stop at McDonald's or KFC and get some damn Wi-Fi or whatever. Kind of a wrap up. It's like Bend to Montana is where I want to go. I walked through Checkpoint Charlie when I was 16. God bless America. Wow. Rolling couch, love my bagger. Absolutely. You want to see something funny? Here, let me show you. He's about to do it. He's about to, look at that. So Fred's getting a drink. Look at him. Here, let me show you what he's doing. There you go. There's Fred. That's how he gets a drink. He'll get in here and it's a horse lick. And it's a horse lick that we've turned into a swimming pool. There you go. And Fred loves it. Fred loves the swimming pool. That's the back porch, right? Let me make sure I don't fall down backing up. But instead of getting a drink, he likes to, instead of getting a drink, he just gets all in. He just gets all in. That's Fred. My audio. He's my sound engineer. You know what I mean? Sound engineer. I'll show you what I'll be using whenever I go to Montana. I'm going to film all of this, okay? You should do shows from Starbucks. Oh my God, that's a good idea. This is what I use when I'm traveling. I've got this little DJI Pocket 3, I think is what it is. It's a little camera. It's got a gimbal on it. It does all that, right? It does all that. That's what I use. It's got a little wireless microphone. Right over here, it's got a little wireless mic. You can like clip it on, lapel mic. I'm probably taking some underwear, a couple of t-shirts, some socks, spare pair of jeans. And that's me, man. And a bunch of biltong and a bunch of cigars. My goal is, I try to do this everywhere I go. When I get to the top of Beartooth Pass, Fred will stay home, yeah. Top of Beartooth Pass, I'm gonna have a cigar, and I've got this little camping stove that I can make me a cup of coffee. End online anonymity in the places and mechanism. I don't like this. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and hide that. I don't like those. Wait. Nope. Yeah, there you go. Ben, you got it made. Living the good life. I don't know if I got it made. I don't believe in, I think one of the most dangerous words in America or in the English language is entitlement. You want to say touch grass? I'm out here barefoot. I'm out here barefoot as a yard dog, right? I'm barefoot. Oh gosh, Daisy's here. Daisy's mama. We own Daisy's mama too. Daisy's mom is called Dixie. And Dixie's over here. Dixie and Daisy, mama and daughter. Somebody might have just pulled up in the front yard. I don't know. Typically, Fred and the dogs freak out when somebody pulls up. So there you go. But that's what we're going to do. Here, I'll show you if you want to see Daisy's mama. That's Daisy's mama. That's Dixie. Daisy. There's Daisy. Daisy and her mama right here. Right? That's me. You haven't been with your moral compass. I don't know if I've got a moral compass. I have made a lot of bad decisions. I saw the world on a bar stool. But America has given me more than I could ever give America. I'll say that. Here. This is a good photo right here. Here, let's see here. That's a good photo right here. Here you go. Let me see if I can show them all. There's Dixie, Daisy, Fred. There you go. There you go. There you go. Turds. There's Fred. He's wet. I don't think I could ever give America back what America's given me. I do get frustrated just like everybody else. Sorry, this is completely off the cuff. I get frustrated whenever people in the chat that sell the disconnect. I don't know what that means. Sell the disconnect. I don't know what that means. Fred, watch out. Who said sell the disconnect? Go ahead and expand on that. I don't know what that means. Bannon, you're the only males. Yes, I am. Yes, we are. Right? I get frustrated, just like many of you. I get upset, I get angry whenever people come into the chat and they're so anti-American and they don't realize how good they have it. That is what bothers me. That's what bothers me. Is when people don't realize how great of a country we live in. When people get hung up on President Trump using the word democracy to explain how our elections work, because we have a democratic election process. We are a constitutional republic, but we democratically elect representatives that are not representing us. And there's people that just come into the chat that just want to divide us. No different than the paid Chinese bots and trolls. And that bothers me, man. And that's whenever I'll cuss at them, I'll yell at them, I'll make fun of them. And like Sonny Hosted. I don't know, that name sounds familiar and I just don't know who that is. The chat was going by real fast. Entitlement's a dangerous word. Very, very dangerous. I have a doe raising 2 fawns in my backyard. Oh, that's good. I respect that. Thank you. I really appreciate that, John. Thank you. Oh, The View. Okay, yeah, The View. Sorry, I don't watch that one. I really don't. People that can't think for themselves and drink the Kool-Aid. Speaking of Kool-Aid, I'm out of lemonade. I had a big old glass of lemonade here full of ice and it's melted. You may be, me too, Ben, America's the greatest country on the planet. Yeah, it absolutely is. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the channel as a member. It's 10 cents a day. It goes a long way to help the causes that I try to help, okay? With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I smell like Satan's taint. I literally mowed. You can see my bad boy mower back there. I mowed the yard. And now it's time to go and do some... Well, first I'm going to go get a shower. I might just wash off with that damn hose or get in that water trough that Fred was in. What's the temperature? I don't know. I don't know what the temperature is. I would say it's in the 80s right here. It's not very humid, which is nice. Looking forward to a roadside Starbucks. We would probably get thrown out of Starbucks. Here's a little trick for you for Starbucks. When you go to Starbucks, and I hate to, but if I'm forced to for a cup of coffee and they ask you what your name is, I always tell them my name is either Donald Trump or Jesus Christ. Because whenever they say either one of those names, they hate America even more. They hate God. You know what I mean? Fred's over there rolling in the grass now after he took a dip. What gets me is the ones that come here and cry about it but won't leave. I agree. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. I don't even know how to stop this, but I'm going to. Trevor just gave away 5 memberships. Somebody else matched Trevor's memberships. I can't do it. I'm on my phone. But join the channel as a member. Get into the Discord. When you become a member, go to the community post tab. There will be a link to get into the Discord. Dixie Chopper all the way. My Lawnmower Bad Boys, they're made here in Arkansas. They're made right here in Arkansas. Okay? Thanks for the chill stream. Have a good day. Thanks a lot, guys. If you like this kind of content, let me know. We'll do more of these. Maybe a lot more of these. You guys take care. I'm going to go take my wife probably out to lunch or something like that. Maybe it's a little late for lunch. Maybe a little afternoon dinner. Take care, guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. Take care. Johnny Ballgame. We thought you were gagging on balls somewhere else. What's up, Johnny? Johnny Ballgagger. Johnny has never in this entire time of Johnny being on the channel, has never supported the channel. He's never joined the channel as a member, but he comes here to be a contrarian crackhead. Who is Nick Matau? Is he another submariner? Seriously? I got to reach out to Nick Matau. Nick Matau. I'll reach out to him. Guys, take care. Appreciate you. See you in the next one.